Okay, so we are now in part two of Does God Exist? And our last video we left off with the question of is this God a personal one? We were talking, of course, about the Kalam argument, and we were kind of wrapping it up. And how we were wrapping it up is to define whether or not, or to figure out whether or not, is this cause personal? We kind of unpack logically how this cause had to have certain attributes to it. And so one of the things, of course, the big thing with the Kalam argument is that there has to be an ultimate cause of all things. And logic dictates that there cannot be an infinite regress. Because for one, we shouldn't logically be here. The universe should never exist, since it would have to go through an infinite amount of events in order to come into existence, and you can't exhaust infinity, so therefore logically we shouldn't be here. That would be just one logical absurdity you get with an infinite amount of events. And so that means that there is a finite amount of events, and since nothing can't bring forth anything, it wasn't nothing that brought forth the universe. So there has to be something that brought forth the universe. The something, therefore, since it's not an infinite number of causes or an infinite number of events, this cause has to be eternal. But the question is, if the cause is eternal, how do you explain an eternal cause with a temporal effect? That's the big question. How does that work? How do you do that? How do you get that? Because if the cause is there, the effect should be there. A good example would be, imagine you had a lake, and it was eternal, and the temperature surrounding the lake from eternity past was negative 20 degrees. Well, logically, that would mean that the lake would be frozen solid from eternity past. It would be absurd to say that, given those conditions, that the lake began to freeze a finite time ago. If the temperature was always negative 20, the lake should have always been frozen. And so if the cause is there, the effect is going to be there. If we're talking about an impersonal, natural cause that has no freedom of will or whatever. So when we get to this dilemma, the only way to solve this dilemma is to say, okay, the cause therefore must have been personal. It must have had a will. The cause of the universe must have had a will to bring forth the universe into existence. So this cause, therefore, the most logical and sound and reasonable thing to conclude is that this cause is a personal agent that willed for the effect to happen. And I talked about my last video about a Mountain Dew appearing out of or from nothing. It just randomly appeared without no rhyme, no reason, no cause for it to appear, and the absurdity of that. Well, that analogy could also be used for a good analogy for personally willing something into being. I can, as a personal agent, I could choose not to bring a Mountain Dew up here, and I could choose to do so. I could go down in the kitchen, I could bring a Mountain Dew, and I could choose to drink it. And so as an agent that has a choice, as a personal agent that has the freedom of choice, I can bring forth things into existence. I can, or I can choose not to. I can affect things like that as a personal agent. And so this cause would seem to be a personal agent that can will things into existence. And so that's finishing up with the Kalam argument, the cosmological argument. We'll do another video that deals with the fine-tuning argument that really delves into that. And so we'll do that next time.